Welcome to the West Coast, West Coast. Welcome to Long Beach Radio. I've got a couple of talented fellas in studio whose, well, names you sort of almost just heard. I'm going to leave it up to you, Mark Crissinger and...
Mike Filipowitsch.
Filipowitsch.
You got to get the I in there. One forgets the first I.
All right. Well, these guys are going to be rocking the Way West tonight, tomorrow. They were at Black Rock last night. Mark's been out here a jillion times. This is Mike's first time out here on the West Coast. And
first time to Tofino.
To Tofino.
Not the West Coast.
Well, yes. Here, I'm going to move this mic down for you just a little bit with our high-tech sound equipment here. But we can do this whichever way you like. I've got some studio recordings queued up. We can chat a little bit and go into them, or we can chat a little bit and go live. Would you like a minute? And we can go into the recorded stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right.
Talk to Mike a little bit about his new record there.
Yes, we should do that. Mike, get off your phone. Come on. We're on the air here.
Yeah, I know.
If this was CBC, we'd have you hung by now.
Yeah.
But first of all, we people should be familiar with you from our Friday morning Friday Funky Food Hour. That was my phone. Yeah. But we have Bobby Lax come in. Bobby Lax was actually talking about how you were in many ways part of his coming of age, which sounds a little creepy.
It does, and it's scary that happened. Yeah.
But we've been playing a lot of Bert Nielsen Band here on Long Beach Radio as a result of Bobby's involvement for a long time.
Perfect.
And you had a lot to do with that, of course, obviously, throughout the days. But now you're doing your own thing.
Well, yeah, I still play with Bert Nielsen Band. We just don't tour anymore because the one guy's in the Trues, the other guy's in Dearly Beloved now, and the other one's with Jason Collette and Zeus.
Nice.
So they're busy. I just name dropped a lot of names there.
All right.
But yeah, I've always done the solo thing. I started as a
Yep.
solo performer before Bert Nielsen, so I'm just getting back to what I used to do,
Which
is writing songs. And I wrote the songs for Bert Nielsen too, majority of them. So yeah.
So you flew out from Thunder Bay to
Calgary, met Mark, and we've just been on a swing. We did Calgary, Banff, Canmore, Fernie, Nelson, Vancouver, Courtney. Now we're here in Tofino.
So what's the most beautiful place you've come to since you started this trip?
It has to say Calgary. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a fan.
Everybody's laughing at that right now.
Yeah.
Like, everybody listening to the radio is like, Calgary!
Yeah.
Hey man, if you're from like the Toronto area like I am, and you've heard about Tofino, everyone talks about Tofino. I've never had an opportunity because when we toured, we did all the big cities and just moved on.
Yeah.
So this is awesome to come out here. It's amazing. This place is beautiful.
So you have you're coming out here, and I have a copy in my hand, so we'll be hearing more from it. I'm sure down the road, but with the new disc.
Yeah, I did it in a week. Like I just went into the studio and I said I didn't even have a list of songs.
Yeah.
I went in and I sat in a room and whatever came into my head, what I felt right for just capturing a moment. You know, I wanted to happen fast. I didn't want to think about it too much.
So what was the moment? What was going on when you put the album together? Were there transitions? Were there?
Well, the album's called Little Disasters, and I think I think a lot of it's about my transition from being a Toronto because it has a U at the end now, Toronto musician, and moving up to Thunder Bay to get away from the big city and away from, I in my one song I say all the smoke and useless lies because I think Toronto was just getting to be too much for my headspace. So I needed to get out so I could survive and live to be 40 at some point.
So now you're going up north where there's no smoke and no lies?
No more lies, just no smoke. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I call them lies. Whatever. That's probably me doing most of them.
Well, it's the center of the universe over there in Toronto. After all,
that's what they like to think. Yeah, it's not true.
Have you ever the Radio Free Vestibule song? I don't want to go to Toronto.
No, but I should check that.
Because all the children wear suits, even the girls 3-piece suits. They walk
awesome.
around with black balloons. But
love it.
All right. Now comes the moment of truth. I've got Siberia queued up, the closing track off the new album. Or if you want, you got a guitar in your hand. You want to bust something out here live first, or we can do it all.
We're here, and we have guitars.
Sweet. All right. What are we gonna hear?
I'm gonna play a title track. It's a little more of a bluegrass beat kind of song. There is some introspective stuff on there, but I just gotta get comfy here.
All right. Well, while he's settling in and doing that, tonight at the Way West and tomorrow night at the Way West, no cover charge. Mark and Mike are going to be down there. Mark, he's been out here a bunch of times. Mike will be a new addition, and it sounds like some smoking hot guitar picking, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna let Mark do most of the smoking hot guitar picking on this, and I'm gonna concentrate on trying to tell a story, man.
All right. Rock it. You're listening to Long Beach Radio.
Nice.
Well, please don't cry now. There's nothing that you can do. Well, we've all been where you are before in life, just kicking at you, but you still have me to talk to you. And I know it'll work it through, but if not for these little disasters, how would you know life? Oh no, life. Come on, Mark. But if not for these little disasters, how would you know life? Oh no, life. Well, time can move so slowly, or it could quickly fade away. Would you think less and less on the darker times and focus on brighter days? Would you still have me to talk to you? And I know never work it through, but if not for these little disasters, how would you know the life? Yes, if not for these little disasters, how would you know the life? Oh no, the life. All right, Mike.
We need a round of applause in here. We need a bunch of pretty girls in tight shirts.
Sure,
But
I'll take that.
Mark Crissinger and Mike Filipowitsch. Did I get it that time?
You got it, man.
Yeah, they're going to be playing at the Way West tonight and tomorrow night. It's not going to cost you a penny. Well, your beer might cost you a penny, but
There pennies here?
it'll get you in the door. Yeah, we use those for. Oh, the beers are that. Yeah. Well,
I love this town.
we will come right back after the Tide Report and a couple of quick messages with more music and a couple more chats with the guys. Thanks for dropping in already. It's already been worthwhile having you.
The soundtrack to Highway 4.
Long Beach Radio.
All right, welcome back, West Coast. You're listening to Long Beach Radio. It is 7 minutes after 3 o'clock, and I bet you CBC wouldn't start back into the audio segment while one of the guests was still in the washroom.
That's why I come to Tofino, man.
I suppose it's probably a little low of me to make fun of CBC on Canada Day, but here we are. Mark Crissinger, repeat offender as far as coming out here to the West Coast and
I
rocking out.
love Tofino.
And you cool it. You did the Black Rock thing
I
last
love
night.
Yuki.
They're great
actually.
to you down
Yuki
there,
is
aren't
the
they?
jewel. Yuki is the jewel actually in the whole trip.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality, man. It's got great friends there. Got great friends up here, but I got some very old friends that reside down in Yuki.
Hitchhike Mike.
Yeah, Hitchhike Mike, man, glorious character, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now.
Yeah,
So
rocking out for like the
it's
fourth or
always
fifth time you've come up here now every month or two now.
Like I say every time, it's a full blown vacation that I love so dearly. Yeah, it means so much. Yeah.
Well, since the last time you were here, month-ish ago, you have I'm grabbing the wrong disc all the time. You have produced the album that we were talking about there that last time, Raw Umber.
Yeah.
It's here. It exists. It's in my hands.
Yes, great.
And we've already got 3 or 4 songs off of it that we've played a couple of times on the radio here, which is sort of fun. I love, especially island talent. Now that you're an island boy, I get an extra little bit of warmth from playing somebody from the island. What was the process about? It's quite a bit different from the last one, and you're already talking about how different the next one's going to be. Where were you at with this?
It was interesting because it feels like it was a long time ago, and it was like last fall. Last August, I guess half August. through to the middle of October, I was on the road. So we did like 38 shows in 58 days or something like that, and went, Halifax and all the maritime provinces, Quebec and Ontario. And when I got to Ontario, I called together my my guys that I like to play with.
Your East Coast Blue Buds?
Yeah, the East Coast Blue Buds, which includes Jeff Haschelt from the Bert Nielsen Band, and an old friend who's played on pretty much all my blues stuff for the last 10 years. And we called each other together, and we had a very quick session, only 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And we did 7 songs, 6 full band, like sort of blues, rock blues tunes.
Yep.
And then I never did any of the vocal tracks. So we used my friend's studio in Half Moon Bay on the Sunshine Coast, and we did all the vocal tracks there, and recorded 2 other acoustic songs.
Yeah.
So now the album is really representative of what I'm doing, these days, which is
Yep.
acoustic blues and folk, and a lot of folk music. But the album is sort of holding up the blues end
Yeah.
of things for me now. Yeah,
Sweet.
I love to eat. There's fun songs.
Yeah.
And then there's sad 5,000 miles about being far away from home, and a few tunes like that, for sure. Yeah, it's just straight ahead blues music. It's fun.
Yeah, well, no, it's always a good show when you're down there, and I know you've started putting together a local following. It's fun to see those repeat people come down.
I love seeing them come out. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Tofino is the whole reason I even moved to the West Coast.
Well, we got to get you a condo out here or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I give my thanks and praises at Long Beach every time I drive up here,
Yeah.
folks. That's the way it goes.
Well, I'm glad you're back. And at the Way West tonight, along with Mike, no cover charge. Drop on in. Usually music starts at 8:30 and goes till last call.
Yeah,
around
we'll
midnight.
go. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, for sure by 8, because we're having a lot of fun on this tour. This
Yep.
is like we're winding down. We've been going
Yeah.
since last Sunday, and we're having a real good time. And
Sweet.
yeah.
So, are you ready to rock something live here, Mike? You washed your hands.
I did.
What do you want to give us here?
Well, this one's for Angelina at the Way West. She wanted to hear this one. So we're gonna do Baja Blanket from the first record. And you want to hear some of the new record, you come down this evening, and we'll cook it up for you.
Sweet. And we'll play one of the recorded versions of one of the new songs after we're done here. How's that?
Ah, sweet. Thanks, Jeff.
Game on. Let's do it.
All right. Meet me down by the river sometime after 9. Bring that old Baja blanket of yours, and I'll bring some wine. I got things that I want to tell you, things that might include love. We got no kind of worries, angel, that I can think of. Yeah, are you sure you've heard enough? Could you hear a little more? Are you sure you've had enough? Could you have a little more? Are you sure you've seen enough? There is so much to explore. Yeah. I have heard me a whisper telling me to follow my heart. Do you wanna head out on the highway tonight and make a new start? Yeah, are you sure you gave enough? Could you give a little more? Are you sure you've been enough? Could you be a little more? Are you sure you've loved enough? Could you love a little more? I know you can, yeah. Yeah, Mike, come on. Meet me down by the river sometime after 9. Bring that old Baja blanket of yours, and I'll bring some wine. Yeah, are you sure you've had enough? Could you have a little more? Are you sure you've heard enough? Could you hear a little more? Are you sure you've seen enough? There is so much to explore. Yeah, are you sure you've been enough? Could you be a little more? Are you sure you gave enough? Could you give a little more? Are you sure you've loved enough? Could you love a little more? I know you can, yeah.
All right, Mark Crissinger and Mike Filipowitsch. They're playing tonight and tomorrow at the Way West. No cover charge. Check it out. In addition to lovely original tunes, boatload of recognizable party songs too. I know you guys get into the Grateful Dead and stuff quite a bit, or you do for sure, Mark. So it's going to be a big party. It's going to be a lot of fun. Happy Canada Day, everybody! And I'm going to play a couple of album versions of some of their songs, and then when I come back at around 4 o'clock, I will be joined by Wolfheart, who are playing at the McQuinna tonight. So do stick around. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
And I'll see you tonight.
Right on.